4GB of RAM on a smartphone may sound ridiculous to some of you folks out there. However, to an ambitious company called ASUS, it makes a lot of sense. The ZenFone 2 has been the definite answer to everyone's desire for a powerful and affordable Android smartphone this year. Does the phone deliver a future-proof experience, and is it going to make you stay put for the next couple of years? This is Warren with KLGadgetGuy, and we are diving into the full review of the ASUS ZenFone 2 ZE551ML. The phone may be simply called the ZenFone 2. However, in the company's portfolio, there are a number of variants out there which actually confuses the customer a lot. Let's just face it, nobody wants to remember phone models just like PC motherboards. And you might probably get the wrong ZenFone 2 if you are not specific enough to retailers. Now, the ZenFone 2's hardware design language isn't too much different from its previous generation. Well, there are some positive changes. The screen bezels are slightly slimmer and makes the phone's form factor a little compact than usual. And if you find that volume rocker placement familiar, you are definitely not alone. The power button is probably the most uncomfortable thing to press on, and you may want to use touch gestures to unlock the phone. Another thing that I don't really like is the phone's cheap glossy plastic frame, which gets scratched easily after a few days of using it. The ZenFone 2 continues to use Intel's 64-bit Atom processor, and ASUS has fortunately included 32GB of internal storage on board while still allowing microSD expansion. You get beautiful colors on the phone's bright 5.5-inch 1080p panel with Gorilla Glass 3, and touch response is top-notch. The phone's main camera is a 13MP f2.0 pixel master camera with exceptional low-light performance, and the front-facing camera gets a megapixel bump to 5MP with a wide-angle lens for selfies. The ZenFone 2 also continues to support 2 SIM cards with 4G LTE, and it comes with modern wireless standards and a huge, non-removable 3000 mAh battery. Zen UI has given us a very positive experience on previous ASUS devices, and this time, it gets even better on the ZenFone 2, thanks to the phone's speedy Intel processor and dual-channel 4GB RAM. You get a lag-free experience, which not many flagships offer. However, despite of that, Zen UI doesn't really take advantage of that added memory by letting users do more. For instance, the company could have added floating windows or multi-window that is found on the memo pad. It probably is a good thing for not having them, but still, ASUS could have done more with that ample amount of RAM. While the phone's overall performance is great, the phone's sound quality in both headphone and speaker mode can be a little disappointing, even with ASUS Sonic Master enabled. Volumes aren't great, and lows can get a little too overwhelming in songs. The PowerVR GPU is capable of handling most Android games smooth with high-quality graphics, and the phone's temperature could get uncomfortable under heavy load. While we have experienced many powerful smartphone cameras already for the year, the ZenFone 2's camera doesn't disappoint in most lighting conditions. Its low-light mode is great when you need that extra sensitivity to get better lighting in photos by sacrificing pixels. The front camera is a great improvement, however it isn't the best in class. ASUS has also made significant improvements to the camera software by making a much better manual mode. ISO settings and shutter speeds are pretty standard, and it will pretty much satisfy the average user. The Super Resolution mode oversamples images up to 50 megapixels, which lets you crop pictures without losing too much detail. The ZenFone 2 scores exceptionally well in benchmarks, finally beating Snapdragon 801 devices with its 4GB of RAM. But here comes the bad thing: battery life. Despite having a significant huge battery on board the ZenFone 2, it merely lasted 11 hours of battery life with very minimal usage. So make sure you have a power bank handy. And last but not the least, cell reception on the ZenFone 2 is fortunately great, and it delivers steady LTE performance. On first impressions, the ASUS ZenFone 2 is a smartphone to be loved. It has the performance that power users will need. There's no storage issues like some flagships this year, and it is undoubtedly the most value for money flagship at 1,099 ringgit. However, after some time of using the phone, we just feel that ASUS have pretty much made a half-baked product when compared to its predecessors. Its dated software features just doesn't make you feel the need to upgrade your old ZenFone, and most importantly, battery life has not been improved this time. The ZenFone 2 is still a great smartphone nonetheless, But ASUS has left us wanting more from this year's flagship, from the extra screen estate and RAM. This is a phone made for new ZenFone adopters, but it isn't really worth upgrading from its predecessors. The ZenFone 2 gets a score of 8.1 out of 10. That's pretty much for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching the video review of the ASUS ZenFone 2. If you like what you saw and would like to support us, do click on the thumbs up button and subscribe to us for more upcoming exciting videos. We're also on social media, so do follow us on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and Instagram at KLGadgetGuy. My name is Warren, and I'll see you next time in our next video. Cheers!